Yes. Welcome back to the Michael Talks Football channel. It's time for another draft. I said we had a lot of fun last week doing it. We're not going to do transfer stuff every day. It bores me to death. When the transfers happen, we'll talk about it. But we got another draft after I annihilated G last week in the under-21s draft. And this is facts.
Okay, guys. So really and truly, Michael was actually lying. When we looked on Twitter, it was closer than it was here on the channel, which I find quite funny. We're on his channel.
G, on Instagram, it was 80-20.
Listen, again, your Instagram. I feel like there's a lot
but they don't know which team is who. I said Team A, Team B. That's it.
Guys, just please today, forget the biasness. Just pick the team that you think is good. I beg, man. I beg.
He begs for a win, man. He needs a dub after last week. But everybody,
I need a dub.
You need a dub. We got another draft today. I voted. I gave a community post. You all voted, and it is Seleção, Brazil. G. Here are some records that Brazil have done. They have won 5 World Cups. The only nation to do that in the world. 9 Copa Americas, which isn't the most. I think Uruguay and Argentina have 15 each. They have 4 Confederations Cup. I don't know if that's the most. It might be. They got 2 Olympics, which is back-to-back now. They're trying to go for a 3-peat next year. And they have 5 Ballon d'Ors from 4 different players.
So they sound like an okay team. I put them on the level of like a Brighton. That's kind of what they sound like. So not too surprised by hearing that. But nah, man, come on. This is Brazil. They're the nation that, as a kid, when you're like getting into football, and obviously you got your club that you might support first, and then you're looking at international football. They were the first international team before even England that I looked at and was like, this was the day and age where they were seen as or they still are seen as, global superstars. People that I only ever, because I never had like Italian football or Spanish football or anything like that on TV, but they're the ones where you're just like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and all of these other kind of guys, that you got to see only at the World Cup. I never saw them any other time, just the World Cup, and they were written up all the time.
Yeah. And funny enough, because I was looking back, they went 24 years without winning the World Cup from 1970 to 1994. Where did they win the World Cup in 1994, G?
1994?
Yep, where did they win it?
I don't know. I want to say...
Baggio's missed penalty.
I remember the missed penalty, but where it was, I want to say Wembley, but I don't feel like it was Wembley.
Nope, it was in the USA. That was a
24. That was the second pick.
That was a 24-year period. They went from 1970 to 1994. The next World Cup is a 24-year difference since they last won the World Cup. Where's the World Cup in 2026?
Okay, fair enough. It looks like, history may repeat itself.
I don't want to say anything, but maybe there's something going along here that they might be collecting number 6. But the Brazilian national team right now, I mean, they can't even beat Senegal. But that's not what we're talking about here today, people. We are picking the best 11 Brazilian players draft. And as always, you guys will vote on Instagram and Twitter, and then at the end here on the chat as well. So get your thoughts in. Let me know your favorite Brazilian player. Is it Ronaldo, R9? Is it Lucio? Is it Alisson? Neymar? Let me know, people. Let me know in the comments down below. Remember to hit the like button. We should already be hitting 15 likes on the stream. We already got 11. Don't perform like Richarlison in front of goal in the Premier League this season. Don't. Where he's doing the for one side at 3 times. Come on, people. Hit the like button. Big up to Nora. How you doing? Big up to Uncle Mike. Big up to Mom Paras. He said, yeah, sure, but Mike had a better team. Sorry. That's right, my guy. That's right. That's right. You know how to say it, Mom Paras. Arman, how you doing? There's a reason Brazil is the only country to qualify for every single World Cup.
That's mad. That is so mad to know that. Like, that's crazy.
Brazil 1970 World Cup team. That's it. Don't need to go any further. Very true as well. And Eddie, big up to you, bro. Please put Ricardo Kaká on your team. My most favorite player of all time. Maybe he will be there. Maybe Kaká will be there. And big up to Dayon as well. Before we get into the draft, which position are Brazil most stacked in?
I'll
be honest. In the chat as well, people.
I would say central midfield kind of thing. If we're going back through time,
are we talking about attacking midfielder, or are we talking center mids?
Okay, cool. Then I would probably say, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a mixture of both, really. Like, if we're talking about like the best ones in terms of how many players that they've got there who you would consider putting in your team. I don't want to run through too many names and give it away, but when I'm looking here, I'm like, there's a hefty list. Like, their center/defensive midfield positions, whatever you want to call it, or however they set up back then, it's stacked with top class players. Their attacking midfielders, how we would deem attacking midfielders of today, again stacked with players. You know, left wing, they've got really good, like a couple of good players in there. Strikers, everyone already knows, you know, the big three, you know, strikers that they've got. I think the striker position is probably their
big names
position. Yeah, big names actually. Yeah, big names.
Yep, I would agree as well.
Yeah,
big up to Fadil. Says Ederson, Dani Alves, Thiago Silva, Lucio, Roberto Carlos, Gilberto Silva. Oh, what a play! Gilberto Silva is one of those underrated guys. That doesn't get talked a lot about. Casemiro, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Pele, R9. Uncle Mike says you can't play a 2-8-2, G. That's 12 players, by the way, as well.
leave me alone, bro.
All right. So we got to determine which guy goes first. This time around, we're going to do a spin. It's not based on our birthday. It's going to be on the spin. So
yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying. Last time it was all cheating and that. Like,
hey, bro, I know you went first last time. There we go. See, this time I go first.
Coincidence. Let's go.
Okay. All right, people. Let us know what would be your first pick as well, everybody. Let us know in the chat. All right. I have a list here, people, and I done it by position.
Yeah.
The problem is...
Okay, no, you know what? What's the one position that you think is the hardest to choose in terms of lack of players in that position?
I would say center back.
Yes, that's the same position. I was like, I pray he doesn't pick, you know, the two that I want. Otherwise,
I think center back is the weakest. What formation are you playing, by the way?
I'm gonna go 4-3-3 today. I'm gonna go 4-3-3 with the DM.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the DM.
I'm going 4-4-2, but the two out wide are sort of cam, so we're playing a diamond.
Guys, you guys slaughtered me when I was trying to do the okay. All right.
Hey, no, you played 3. I don't know what you were playing last time. You were playing 3-7. I think that's what you were trying to do. You weren't even trying to play football. You were trying to play FIFA. All right. I think this is the most logical pick because I think strikers is stacked. I'm going to go with Lucio at center back.
Cool.
I think he is, for me, probably maybe the best center back ever for Brazil. Obviously, he won the World Cup in 2002, won the treble with Inter, won many leagues with Bayern Munich, almost won the Champions League and quadruple with Bayer Leverkusen in 2001.
Did he score in that Champions League final?
In 2010, no, he didn't. Milito got both goals.
No, for Bayern Leverkusen against Real Madrid.
He might have, actually.
I feel like he scored it. I feel like. I'm not 100%.
He might have. But yeah, my first pick is Lucio. I think I have to go with him because, like I said, I don't think there's a lot of good center backs. I mean, if we're going to talk about David Luiz and an all-time Brazil team, get out of here, bro. I'll block you in the chat if you guys say that.
Let me cross him off my list then.
There you
No,
go.
I'm
There
joking.
you go.
No. He's definitely not one of the players that I would even think about, to be honest with you. But no, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. My turn.
Yep. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go centre back as well because I do want to get that position out of the way. I'm gonna go Thiago Silva. I
Son of
think
a.
you knew that was the that was the position I was gonna
All right.
pick. I need to get him out of the way because I just knew if I leave it and you pick two centre backs, I'm absolutely pissed. Absolutely pissed.
All right. All right, you go Thiago Silva. Big up to everybody. Big up to Fadil. Big up to Adash J3. Was that Lucio who scored the overhead versus Costa Rica? Oh, was that him who scored the overhead kick? That was 5-2 that game. I can't remember if he scored the overhead kick. Somebody let us know in the chat. It might have been. It might have been. Big up to AD. How you doing, bro? How you doing? So, first two picks of center backs. I don't think that's ever happened in a draft before, but hey, there's a first for everything in life. Now it's time to go striker. now I need to get the striker sorted. For me, I think this is an easy choice. One of my favorite players growing up. It is R9.
Yep. I had to play it smart, man. Otherwise, I could have gone with the R9. But
He was so good. He was so good. He had everything. He had everything, G. It's just those injuries destroyed his career.
Is there a striker in today's football, or even since R9 has kind of retired, that you think is similar to R9?
No, there will only ever be one R9.
Nah,
do we not forget what he did at Barcelona at 18, 19 years old? At PSV. If he did not get injured, if he didn't get injured, R9 would have been the greatest striker of all time. Hands down. Easily.
It's true.
It's just, he got that injury. I think he came a year or year and a half later. First game, kneecap exploded. I mean, how like, the luck is not on his side there, so I feel really bad. But yeah, I think R9, that comeback sort of World Cup in 2002 really cemented him after what happened in 98, because, some people will say he got poisoned in that match. Mm-hmm. To really come back in 2002 and score 2 goals in the final. Of course, Oliver Kahn messed up in the first goal, but R9, man, that guy was something special. There will never be another player like him, easily.
What's so crazy about R9 is that, like you said, there's not going to be anybody like him. He's one of a kind, generational striker, generational player. It's so crazy because you just mentioned there about him and the injuries, and we still talk about, like some players we talk. Prime example, the guy who obviously plays for Liverpool right now, Brazilian Spanish, Thiago. We talk about his injuries, and I'm only going to assume that you'll probably agree. I don't think we're ever going to talk about him in that same kind of light, as in, I don't think he's ever been that level, in terms of, do you get what I mean? But we know he's a quality player. He's a really, really good player, but we talk about his injuries and things like that, and he's nowhere near that kind of level. R9 was a player who didn't even have that long of a burst of a career. It was, I would say it was like in a 4 to 5 year period where it was like, this is the best player on the planet, and no one even comes remotely close to that. But he was then injured after that, put on weight and all these kind of things. And he's still, till today, that 4 or 5 year stint is still better than some of these guys who are doing 10 plus years. Easily better. Which is crazy.
He was insane. Big up to Samasti. He was my first pick. I picked Lucio. G went Thiago Silva. That was our first 2 picks. This is a great point as well, SSB. It would be interesting to see R9 in this era with modern technology. Facts.
True.
And I think, funny enough, that because he had a lot of knee problems, he would have probably came here to Finland and actually done it, because David Beckham has come here, and a lot of players have come to Finland because there's I think the best, I don't know who specializes in knees. What is that called? That person. God damn it. I should know this. I don't even know. But one of the best in the world is Finland. So Arnott would have probably been in Finland getting the surgery, and he would have... I still think he might have struggled with the knees, because I just think his burst of pace and his acceleration, I don't think his body could have lasted that long. You just see the quick feet. Oh, he had everything. Absolute right foot, left foot. Complete striker.
He almost seemed like, especially watching the documentary that come out a couple of months ago. And I remember even when he was talking about all these injuries and stuff like that, it just seemed to me that he was moving quicker than his body could actually move, which is crazy because his body was already moving quick at that period of time anyway. But it just sounded like his brain was already moving and he was trying to move with it, but his body just couldn't realistically do it. And then once you get one of those injuries, you keep doing the same thing, bro. It's just gonna mess you up, later on down the line. So
look, everybody agrees R9 would have destroyed football if he was 100%.
Yeah,
Agreed.
100%.
And R9 best was arguably in the 90s, but when he went back to Brazil, he was still killing it all over it. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think he went to Corinthians, if I remember. He was still killing it. And you could see he had a belly. I don't understand. Hazard could never, by the way. All right, G, what's your second pick?
Second pick. Let's get him out of the way. Probably considered to be the greatest player of all time, depending on which generation you kind of live in. Obviously, sadly passed away. Rest in peace to Pele up front.
Yep. Ah, man. The man with 3 World Cups.
3 World Cups, man.
And what he did in 1958 at 17 years old.
You're looking at a guy.
You know what? Thank God, G, because he denied Sweden a World Cup. I could never hear the end of it.
Nah, yeah, for real. I think you're looking at, unluckily, unfortunate. Sorry, should I say? For me, I wasn't able to ever, see this guy live. But when someone just leaves a lasting print on a sport, and you didn't even have to watch them at all live or anything like that to know the impact that they actually had on the sport. You've got players of, I wouldn't even say today really, but more, maybe when I was a kid, who used to speak about this guy like it was crazy, like to the point where even now, me as a man now, someone who's older, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, right, like he was actually really, 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 really good. And even if you just want to boil it down to his achievements with Brazil, like personally, this guy was top, man, big man.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I can come for the slander because we both have the same amount of international trophies, so it's okay. He's an icon, exactly, man. He's an icon, Pele. Sadly, he passed away. It would have been nice for him to see Brazil lift number 6, but it didn't happen. And I think, and this is I was just about to say this, that a lot of people disrespect what Pele achieved. Like, okay, yeah, he never came to Europe and played, but look what he did in the World Cup constantly, and just especially at 17 years old. Mamma mia, it's just amazing. And just the type of goals. Of course, you can say, oh, look at the defending and this and that, but I think people really need to respect what Pele did. Pele made football into a superstar sport, right? Before, we had the footballers, but he elevated the sport to another level, and then Maradona came, and now we have Messi and Ronaldo, and he's up there. You got the VIP section. But we got the billionaire section. Pele, Maradona, Ronaldo, and Messi, they're all in that section right there just chilling. So let's see what happens. So G's got Thiago Silva and Pele, and I got Lucy and R9. By the way, guys, G is playing a 4-3-3 because he learned his lesson not to play a 3-7 whatever formation we were playing last week.
Hey, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone.
And I'm playing a 4-4-2 with 4 midfielders. So my second pick is going to be another... or do I go with the cam?
Be careful.
I'm stuck between three players, and they're all in the forward position, and they all start with R.
Oh yeah, well, it's multiple choice.
Hard to guess.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me take this guy. I'm gonna take Romario.
Where you playing Romario?
Striker, of course.
Sorry, you got 4-4-2. Yeah, sorry. No. I forgot your formation.
Good luck trying to defend Romario and R9 on the same team, bro.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
I mean, I'll also kind of like R9. He kind of took the same route, going from I can't remember which club he came from in Brazil, but he went from PSV to Barcelona, killed it at Barcelona. I think he scored 50 times or 50 something times for Brazil in 70 appearances. Romario. Yeah. When people talk about, oh my God, look at this player as a forward, I don't think he gets talked a lot. You know, we talk about R9, but Romario was an absolute beast. He was a beast for his time and just kept on scoring. Obviously won the World Cup in 1994. Unbelievable. I'm actually going to check how many goals he scored in 1994. He's one of those players where he doesn't get a lot of praise for being one of the greatest of all times in his position, especially. Let me just quickly check how many. He scored five goals in the 1994 World Cup.
Okay, 5 goals in that.
Yep.
I think with someone like Romario, it's almost like obviously we're talking about players who are probably going to be seen on like a global stage, and obviously we got to talk about football from the 90s and early 2000s. That's probably when like it got really global kind of thing in
Yep.
terms of everywhere and blah blah blah. His unfortunate thing was when football, in my opinion, became really really global. That's when Ronaldo was then a young player coming through who was this amazing player. So people like myself who were younger, and obviously we're kind of the we're the viewership. You know, we're what the consumers are. We're who the consumers are trying to reach out to. You know, we're the type of person now. So when they're trying to reach out to us, we're looking at Ronaldo. We're not even thinking about the Romarios because we don't know about Romario. Do you know what I mean? He was maybe just a few years before most people in, say, like my age bracket, just before their time, unless you know football and you've done your research and stuff like that. But back then, no one did research. It was just whatever you saw on TV, you kind of just went with. And I just think that's why people don't look at him like that. But if you know Romario, yo, top dog, absolute top dog. So
Top
really,
dog.
really good signing. Really good. Really
Yep. All right. What's your third pick?
good. I'm gonna go with right wing.
Oh, thank God.
Gonna go with right wing. And I will go with Garincha. I'm gonna go with
I had a feeling you're gonna go with Garrincha.
I think like when I was looking like trying to do the research like on right wingers, like players who were predominantly right wingers anyway, not just can just play there. This is the guy who Pele said was the best player or the best Brazilian player. You know, this is before the Pele's kind of thing, and obviously this is going to be way before my time and way before probably anyone who's watching this. You know, but he was a top player. He's not a player who has all the accolades. So you know, when you compare him to the Pele's got 3 World Cups. I don't think he's got any actually World Cups. But when you're looking at someone like Garrincha, trust me, right wing, dazzling. I was even watching highlights before I came on here. Yo, this guy was he was a bit of a dope player, very very quick, very very skillful. So yeah, he's my pick.
Did you know this about him, G?
I read something like that, but I thought it was a joke. But I was reading something about
No,
that.
I think it's true. I think somebody's talked about that as well, which is crazy.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a joke, but I didn't know that was actually a true thing.
Okay, all right. I think it's time to go right back.
Okay, that's cool.
I think this is where they're most stacked, other than the strikers, right back.
Yeah. You could pick any of them. I'll be honest.
I think you can pick any of them, but I think Dani Alves.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's cool.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
not perfect, but that's not who I was gonna go with. That's not.
I mean, what is there to say about Dani Alves? Obviously, now we can't really like what's going on with him right now is a bit of a madness. But as a footballer, I mean, just him and Messi down the right side of the link-up play and just everything, the type of goals he scored. Yeah, okay. Was he the greatest defender? No, but he didn't really have to defend as much. He just, when you think of Brazilian fullbacks, do you think of them defending? No, there you
They're
go.
too good. They don't have to defend.
They don't have to defend, and they're just so good attacking-wise that I think Dani Alves really, maybe not transcended the right back spot because I feel like kind of Cafu started it, but then Dani Alves took it to another level attacking wise. I mean, he was an absolute beast. I still remember, I think it was that left-footed goal he scored against Real Madrid in the El Clasico. It might have been Real Madrid that he literally took it with, I think, his chest, right foot, laid it off one touch, bang, left foot. I was like, this was a right back. Can you imagine Darwin Núñez trying to do this? Absolutely not. So, and this is a right back. I mean, Dani Alves he won everything, like somebody just said, except for the World Cup.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Had he just won that World Cup, he would have completed football. So, yeah, I think Dani Alves for me is top 3, top 4 fullbacks of all time.
Yeah. He's definitely my top, if not best. In fact, probably the best right back of my generation. If I'm looking at all the right backs that I can think of, or he's in the top 2 conversation. I can't feel like he's outside of that conversation, to be honest. So that again, very, very good pick. Very, very good pick, man. Can't lie to you.
I mean, look at the right back choices.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is what I'm saying.
Yep. All
What
right.
about my comment?
Yep, my comment.
We will go with left back. Left back I found difficult. So I was hoping that you would pick first, because I said it would make my life a lot easier if he just picked one and I could just pick the other. There's only two that I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna choose. Think. You know what? He's gone Dani Alves at right back, so I have to reciprocate. I'm gonna go with Marcelo at left back.
Oh, damn
I'm
it.
gonna go with Marcelo at left back because here, you know, we're talking about players who have won everything. Here is another, again, another fullback who's won God knows how many Champions League, La Liga titles. Again, not been able to win that World Cup like a Dani Alves, both in that same generation. I remember when Marcelo, like I used to play a lot of Championship Manager, a lot of Football Manager. I remember looking at Marcelo when he just joined Real Madrid. And I remember thinking to myself, he didn't have the afro. Everyone remembers he had the buzz cut. You know, he was kind of fresh faced and stuff like that. When he first came in, I remember looking at him and thinking, yeah, I mean, he might be all right. Again, we'll just have to wait and see. That he's coming off the back of them having, you know, Roberto Carlos, you know, in that position, someone who dominated that position for years and years. If I'm being honest with you, in my opinion, I feel like he was as good, if not a tad bit better, for Real Madrid whilst he was there. You know, top quality. And you got to remember, if we're talking about technique, if we're talking about skills, if we're talking about goals, there isn't a left back I can think of who can score goals like Marcelo. There isn't a left back who can, you know, get past a player like, you know, a Marcelo, you know, and he wasn't even that bad defensively, you know, well, back in his earlier days up until like recently. So I think like, yeah, that's my choice. And I think that's a good choice as well.
Yeah, I think it's between those two, in my opinion, either Roberto Carlos or Marcelo. Ah, man. Yeah, he never won that is crazy. He never won a trophy for Brazil.
There's so many like that. There's so many like that, man.
Yeah, I think it's more just this generation of Brazilians haven't really succeeded at all.
Yeah.
At all. Okay.
Do you think, just before we continue, and this is for people in the big up everyone obviously in the chat as well. Make sure you're smashing that like. I want to ask you guys, do you think with Brazil back in let's say from the 80s and before, and then the 80s beyond, do you think it kind of shifted in terms of the focus for Brazilian players was all about now, in terms of like from the 80s onwards, was all about playing in Europe, doing their best for the clubs, as opposed to pre-80s? Yes, you still have people who did that, but I feel like they were more concerned with winning for Brazil than they were for their clubs. Like a lot of these, like the older generation players, hardly any of them really played for any European clubs. And if they did, they were playing for, like, I saw like Udinese, Torino. Like they weren't playing, like not all of them were playing for these top clubs, but they were the best players for Brazil winning World Cups. I feel like, I don't know what you think, but I feel like it shifted at some point.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, a lot of people have talked about nowadays that Brazil don't really play their style of football, but they're playing the European way. And I think that was evident in 2010 when Dunga, who maybe will get picked in this, I don't know. He just basically went defensive and didn't let the shackles off for these players. When you're talking about Brazilian players, you're talking about technique, flair, confidence on the ball, and just basically playing positionless football. There's no structure. It's just basically, okay, you go out there, you have certain positions, but you work as a team and individuals. I think a great example of this nowadays is Fluminense. If you guys watch Fluminense sometime, they don't play any structure of football. It is just create as many triangles as possible, find the combinations, and that is it. There's nobody, okay, you just keep a certain position like that. So I think there is a different mentality maybe when it comes to Brazilian football, and that has kind of harmed the national team, because then when I look at, let's say, Argentina, I just see the ballers that they're coming out nowadays, and I'm like, these guys are better than any young Brazilian. Now, obviously, you know, Vitor Roque, Endrick, they're now making moves to Barcelona and Real Madrid, but I kind of am a little bit worried that Brazil are too focused on not playing football, but just trying to be maybe the most physical team and playing a European way where they're not playing their way. I think that kind of has shifted within Brazil, but let's see. Yeah, Brazil cope by saying they focus on the World Cup and fail every year. Yeah, and then Dunga didn't even pick Ronaldinho for that World Cup. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so this is actually what Pele said that before the '02 World Cup. He said a lot of Brazilians care more about their European clubs now.
Okay, I didn't know that, but it makes sense when you think about it. Like when we're doing the history for this, and I'm looking at some of these guys. Think like, okay, forget everybody from let's say the '90s onwards. If I'm just looking pre-'90s, even then, these guys weren't playing. Like, go and check. These guys weren't playing for Real Madrid and Barcelona, and they were playing for like really low level kind of clubs at the time, if not playing in Brazil. Most of them, like all the really really good ones, are playing in Brazil. So could be true. Could be true.
Could be true. All right, time for number 5. Yeah, number 5 pick.
Cool. Whose turn is it? Your turn?
Yep, my turn, because we both got 4 now.
Yeah.
All right, in the left sort of cam position, it is Ronaldinho. Because he has played in that position before, left cam. Obviously, everybody's gonna remember him as a left winger, just taking the ball down the touchline. But I don't need to say anything. It's Dino. What do you want me to say, bro? I mean, just watch the commercials, and there you go.
Yeah. What can you say about Ronaldinho, man? There is actually nothing to realistically say on that guy. Like one of the best players.
But do you think he didn't really have like a peak at top of football for very long? Maybe like 3-4 years. He was at the peak of football, really. I think it could have been longer for him, but obviously he was at PSG and then he made the move to Barcelona. And then at Barcelona, I think he just took it to another level, really.
He had the same thing. It's the same as Ronaldo. The difference, he never got injured. Yep. So you actually watched him decline. Like throughout his whole time, you watched it decline, and it was nothing to do with injuries. Whereas Ronaldo, you were like, oh man, if this guy didn't get injured, he was still going and going. Whereas it was only 3 years, 4 years at max that in fact, I'll say 3 years. A 3-year full-on Ronaldinho was the best player on the planet. And then you just watched it go like that. It's like Messi came and it just went downhill for him. Like after that point, like it was crazy. It was crazy.
And then as soon as he left Barcelona, they started dominating football as well. Like dominating football as soon as he left. But yeah, I think Milan, he did well, and then it kind of after he left there, I think he just, like Terry says, he loved partying. I mean, what can you do, man? The guy, he achieved everything. He won the World Cup. He's won Copa America. He won the Champions League. What else do you want him to do? Enjoy your life, buddy. Enjoy your life. But the madness he's doing at the Paraguay border, that can happen.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't have.
I'm not gonna. These Brazilians are a bit. I don't want to touch on them.
You gotta enjoy life. You gotta enjoy life.
Yeah.
Is he the most entertaining footballer of all time?
Yes, I will say that much. I will definitely say that, because you got to realize with him, not only was it entertainment, but he was effective. He wasn't just entertainment, and he had no end product. If he was,
he's not like Anthony, who's just being a fidget spinner down the wing,
or a Saint Maximum, where you're just like, they are entertaining, but they're not like they got no real end product to their game. He was pure end product, entertaining. Get fans off their feet, celebrations. He was so good at Ronaldinho, man. One of my favorite players of all time, man.
Everybody in the chat, let us know what's the best Ronaldinho goal. What's the best Ronaldinho goal for you?
And you can't pick against England. Boom. There we go.
Okay. But what's the best goal ever? Oh, you're going with England?
No, because I know some people maybe they'll straight away they'll go boom that goal. But in my mind, probably. I mean, he had so many. I mean, the goal against Real Madrid, where the fans clapped him. That was a good goal.
Where he sent Ramos for dinner. Oh, my God.
Dinner, bro. For dinner.
No, I think this one is, in my opinion, this is better.
You know what?
The toe poke. That is insane. Against Czech. Remember, that is Peter Czech.
I remember watching that game, and I remember sitting there thinking, shoot. And he wasn't shooting, and then he just shot, and I was like, oh, my God, like it actually went in. I said, yeah, this guy, he's gone clear. I think he was wearing the gold kit that day as well. I was like, yeah, I need to get that kit.
Yeah, they had that sort of kind of light gold or dark gold sort of kit. Yeah. Oh my God, that was best Dino goal involved anytime he embarrassed Ramos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
So it kind of seems it was unbelievable. Unbelievable player. Yeah, the nasty bicycle goal against Villarreal was nasty. It was. All right, people, remember to hit the like button. We should be hitting 30 likes right now. Come on, 26 likes. Let's
Come on,
don't
people.
perform like Richarlison this season. All right, come on, people, hit the like button. Subscribe to G as well. His link is in the description down below. G, what is your fifth choice?
I'm gonna go with centre midfield. I think I need to get some midfielders in there. That would be good. Never watched this guy play. Heard a lot, a lot about him. Seen a lot. Watched some highlights of him as of recently. But his record, for Brazil, and he was kind of an icon in terms of on and off the pitch because of his look. He had kind of the long curly hair, headband, mustache.
Is it the doctor?
The doctor himself, and that is Socrates. And even from what I'm reading and the things, again, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. People say, yeah, I've watched all of these players because, they're before my time, a lot of them. So it'd be kind of impossible to. But I really wanted to include some of these kind of players, doing the research on them. And I'm looking at him. And in terms of attacking midfielder, Jesus Christ, from everything I'm seeing, Pele even named him in his top 100 back in 2004. He named him in his top 100 greatest ever players as well. So again, if the greatest, if not one of the greatest players, is naming you in these kind of lists, he's got to be in my team, man. He's going to be in my team.
I think he never won the World Cup. Yep.
Nope. Didn't.
That's a shame.
And again, it's as I mentioned, he played for Botafogo, Corinthians, Fiorentina, Flamengo, Santos. He even played, and this is funny, he retired at the age of 50 as a player manager, playing in England for Garforth Town. That's actually one of the reasons why I really wanted to pick him, because I was like, that's the most weirdest thing that you could ever hear about a top class player. He retired at the age of 50, player manager for Garforth Town in England.
What?
Yeah, bro, it's right here. It's right here.
The heck? Okay, well, I had no clue about
Back in
that.
November, and they played against, hear the name, Tadcaster Albion. You don't know about the Mighty Tads? Oh, come on, man.
I'd rather not, thank you. You know what? I think this calls for this.
That is blasphemous!
There you go. think it calls for that. I think it calls for that. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go for a center mid as well.
Okay.
But more a bit defensive. See, the problem is, or do I go with the goalkeeper? See, the
I found that
goalkeeper.
kind of difficult.
I found the goalkeeper kind of difficult because
Yeah.
if I'm going to be honest, I think Alisson has a shout here.
Yeah.
And that's not me
And-
being even biased. I think Alisson really has a shout here.
But if it wasn't Alisson, it's the guy training Alisson.
Yep, the goalkeeping coach for Brazil.
Those are, obviously, there's the third choice in Dida. There was him as well.
To be honest, watching Dida, I don't think he was that good. Yeah, I'm going to be perfect.
Same.
He was okay, but I think he could have done a lot. I don't think he was that good.
Same. No, I agree with you. I was just going to pick either or, depending on if I had that choice. So, you pick whatever.
You know what? I'm going to go with Taffarel. I'm going to go with goalkeeper Taffarel.
Cool. He's a very good goalkeeper.
He was instrumental to them winning in 1994 World Cup. Very instrumental. Did he play in Europe? I have to remember if he played in Europe, but I know he was a part of that World Cup in 1994, and obviously he kind of threw off the one and only Baggio to miss that penalty. But did he play in Europe? Okay, he played. Oh yes, I remember reading about this. He won with Galatasaray their biggest ever trophy, which is the Europa League, when they beat Arsenal in the penalty shootout as well. Yes.
Yeah.
So Taffarel is my goalkeeper.
That's actually man. All right. So you got goalkeeper out of the way, so I don't have to worry about that again. Yep. So I'll probably leave that until last. I've got my striker. I've got my right winger. I do want to get the midfield, but then you've taken Ronaldinho already. To be honest, I will go with defensive midfield. So we were obviously speaking about defensive midfield before. There was the underrated player that you mentioned. He was actually the first person on my list. There were honourable mentions, but for me, looking at it, I'll probably actually go with Paulo Falcao.
Falcao. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, he moved to Roma in 1980. At the time, I think he was the actual highest paid player in Europe. Let me not say the world, but probably the world. Obviously, at that time, very very good player. This was, for again, everything I'm reading about him. They kind of describe him as the Xavi/Javi Alonso, type of player. And I thought to myself, what kind of defensive midfielder did I want in this team now? The other choice, I guess it doesn't matter now because you've got the picks.
Yep.
My other choice probably would have been the underrated player that we mentioned, earlier on off air. And I did think of him because I said, I think he's someone who people sleep on constantly, all the time, if I'm being totally honest with you. Someone, when I was speaking with my friend, he mentioned the first person he mentioned, because he's a Manchester United fan, was obviously Casemiro. I said, nah, I don't know if I'd put him in this type of debate. Unless it was a debate from 2000 and something onwards, then yeah, okay, fair enough. But this is all time. And I said, no, I think that someone like a Falcao next to a Socrates as well. I think that's a very, very good link up. You've got a very good attacking player in Socrates, someone who knows where the back of the net is, attack minded, playing that final third. Then you've got someone, like a Falcao who can pick up the passes. If he's picking up passes to Pele, you're going to need to be able to close him down. So, yeah, that's my pick.
Yep, and big up to Albert as well. Thank you for the kind super chat, buddy. He says Didi, who obviously won the World Cup 58 and I believe also 62. I think he did. And obviously was a great midfielder as well. And he says, a great player, but Peru's best coach ever. You're going to have to elaborate a little bit more, Albert, on why he was Peru's best coach ever, because I actually did not know he coached Peru. Let me see when he coached Peru. Let me see this. 1960. Dang. So 1 year he was coach of Peru, Albert. 1 year only. And then Sporting
Cristal really left an impression.
He must have left an impression, because what the heck did he win then? Did he win anything with you guys, or are you just... Because I think Garecho, I think it's a good shout. But big up, Albert. Thank you for the kind donation. Remember, people, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. So, G went with Falcao. Actually, I'll show the teams right now because I think we're about...
Yeah, I was just about to ask you there, right? We can see.
All right, let's see the team. So this is G's team, everybody. He's got Pele, Garrincha, Socrates, Falcao, Thiago Silva, and Marcelo. I think we can all see that there. Yeah, there we go. It's nice. It's good. It's good team. It's good team so far. But is it better than this team?
Bad boys go.
The bad boys. The bad boys. Bad boys. Bad boys. What you gonna do? We got Taffarel.
See, yeah, okay, so guys, so what I'm gonna show you is why Michael
excuses
is why Michael is getting into your heads. Do you notice that he put his team in the Brazil yellow and he put me in this green highlight color kind of thing? So already it's playing with your mind. You're like, ooh, I can picture these players in this position. I can picture them in the Brazil kit. And then what he's doing is he's wearing his Brazil top. Again, subliminal. This is why Michael's a content creator. Don't let him fool you guys. Don't let him fool you. Said my piece.
Don't listen to him, people. Don't listen to him. Click to edit. Yeah, there we go. Click to edit as well. Don't listen to G, guys. He's trying to get your head off of it. Don't listen to him.
I'm not doing anything.
It's all about mind games. It's all about mind games. So we got about, how many we got positions? We got 1, 2, 3, 5 positions left. All right. What's next? What's next for me? Let me just go. Let me go for my CDM. And I'm going to go for the 1994 captain of the World Cup winning team, Dunga. Let me go with Dunga. Now, obviously, he's probably not one of the greatest midfielders ever for Brazil, but I kind of just need somebody to be a bit more defensive in that team, since I got Ronaldinho, I got Romario, I got R9. We're not going to do a lot of defending on this team, so I need someone who's a bit more defensive. Dunga got the leadership. Terrible manager, by the way. I don't know what he was doing in 2010 for that World Cup. should have been sacked before he even started for not taking Ronaldinho in that team. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Dunga at the CDM position.
Nah, he's a good choice, to be honest with you. But you're right. Like I said, it was again. He's another one that was on my DM list. It's either him or Gilberto Silva that I was looking at, and I was like,
Yep.
whoever picks these two, it's because we've got such an attacking lineup, so to speak. So yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. It's a good choice. Very, very
Go
good.
ahead.
I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna go with centre back. So there's two choices I've got in my mind. I'll go with Alder.
Ay, puta madre.
I'll go with him. Played for Roma. Very, very good. Very, very good centre back. Tough tackling centre back. Again, these are the when I look at Lucio, I know Michael obviously picked Lucio. Lucio and Alder. When I look at those two type of centre back, this is when defending was defending. Yes, they can play football. Yes, they can potentially bring the ball out and all that cute stuff that we see, in today's modern football. But if you're talking about two defenders, when I look at them, Lucio and Alder, they were just it's just defending at its purest form, and I love that about those type of defenders of back in the day. And I think that's becoming a bit of a rare commodity. So he was the one, I just said, you know what, I've got to go with him. And I needed to get that centre back position sorted out and out of the.
Damn it.
He won the 1994 World Cup as well. So,
Yep. He was, I think he helped AS Roma win the Serie A in 2003. It was one of those years, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it. It was going to be my next pick as well. Well, now I got time to focus on maybe taking another center back, but now it's time to go.
No, you're right. It's 2001. It was in 2001.
2001? All right, gotcha. Do I just go all out attacking here and just say, okay, you two midfielders just defend for your lives and just go with two pure CDM guys?
Remember, this isn't FIFA.
This guy. Don't listen to it, people. He's trying to get into your head right now.
Listen, I'm trying to win, man. I'm not losing this week. Forget that. I don't want to lose this week.
Did I need I need the other fullback. I can leave that last because you already took the left back, so that's not a huge.
Because you took the right back, I was like, I can just leave these ones. Still.
Let me go for the other cam, and I'm gonna take Kaká. Because he can kind of be my box-to-box sort of midfielder. Maybe not the greatest defensively, but he can drive with the ball. And then that front three, or basically it's the front two, and Ronaldinho can do some defensive work if he chooses to. I'm just going to tell Ronaldinho, do what you want, buddy. You can just play Joga Bonito. But, I mean, Kaká, he had a very interesting career where at Milan, beast.
He was the last human being to win the Ballon d'Or prior to Lionel Messi and, Ronaldo sharing it.
Yeah, and then obviously Modric won it that one year.
Yeah, so
Other than Modric. But Kaká at Milan was just something different. He really, what he did to Man United that one game, especially. And that the pass he gave against Liverpool in that Champions League final is so underrated. The ball he played to, was it Crespo, I think? Crespo, yeah.
And Crespo did that finish, which was...
it was Crespo. I mean, unbelievable pass by him. So, yeah, look, his Real Madrid time was an absolute disaster. I mean, people talk about Hazard as well, but, Kaká's time at Real Madrid was a disaster, but...
But at least you can attribute that to injuries, whereas Hazard, I'm like, you just got fat, and we just didn't really see you. I can't even say, you know what, he picked up so many. No, you just got fat and lazy and stuff like that, because he was still playing for Belgium. It's not like he's not been playing.
Nah, that what he did to Manchester United, where he basically made a Man United sandwich when he made those two players collide with each other. I can't remember which two players it was, guys. Let me know who it was. Was it Rio? Was it Rio Ferdinand who was part of that?
Rio Ferdinand, and I'm going to say it was either Evra or Gabriel Heinz, one of the two.
Might have been.
You're talking about the game. Yeah, because you're talking about the game that they played at Old Trafford. Yeah, it was
Yes.
Rio or Gabriel Heinz. It was one of the two. I feel like it was Gabriel Heinz though.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
yeah,
like
Kaká, man, he was such a good player. Especially when he just got that little bit like he didn't seem like he was the quickest of players, but when he got on the ball and he went in acceleration, you couldn't stop him. You couldn't. So yeah, I think Kaká goes in my team. A little bit more defensive than Ronaldinho, so that's gonna help with the balance of the team. All right, G.
I think when you're talking about Kaká, he reminds me of like Torres. I don't think Torres is that quick, but Jesus Christ, long legs,
Good,
over
very good
yardage.
point.
When they start sprinting, you're not catching these guys. Like Torres just always seems to just be super quick. But when I thought about it, I was like, nah, he's not even that fast. Like you put him up against Mbappe of today, Mbappe would breeze him. But really and truly, it's because of those long legs and obviously being quicker in the mind than everyone else.
Yeah, his
He was
footballing
able to
IQ
get
was
one.
something different.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that pass.
100%.
Oh, that pass was so. Even when watching the game, because that made it 3-0, I believe. Yes, 3-0 against Liverpool, right? It was 3-0.
Yeah.
I just kind of like you just stood up and applauded because the
Yeah.
football was ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what it is? I accepted we were playing against the best team in the world at that time. I just accepted it. I was like, they are the best. They're number one. They've got all the players, Kaká, Pirlo, Seedorf, Crespo up top, Shevchenko, Paolo Maldini, Gattuso. Like, we could list the entire 11, that they had at that period of time. But
Yeah.
he was so important to that team. And he was vitally important when they won the Champions League, when we
In
faced them
2007.
again.
Yep.
2007. So, yeah, man. Very good pick. Very jealous. Very jealous.
Yeah, that was a dope team. Agreed. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. It was. Okay. How many midfielders have you picked?
Well, I got 2 Cams and the Zunga, so I got 1 CDM left.
Okay, perfect. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna go with, have I picked a left winger yet?
Nope.
I don't think I did. I'll leave that.
You have left wing and Cam, sort of. Or who are you playing at Cam? Because so far in your midfield, you got Socrates and Falcao.
Okay, cool. So I will then go with, and the last midfielder I'll go with then. I kind of want to put him in the team though. I need to think of a position for him. I can't not have this guy.
Is it this guy you're thinking of?
The thing is, like, yes, I kind of do want him in the team. Like, how can you have a team without him? But then
To
I
be
have
honest,
to have this guy.
he could play either left wing or Cam. He could play
You know
both
what?
positions.
I'm gonna put Neymar in. I'll put him at left wing. I think that's where we really saw him do his Barcelona. We already know. Came from Santos, the original wonder kid. Well, sorry, of this generation, in terms of wonder kid, coming over from Santos.
Yeah,
playing
can we not talk
alongside
about Freddie
Lionel
Adu,
Messi.
please?
Yeah, I was gonna. That's so crazy because that's the first name.
First off, quickly before you go about Neymar, Freddie Adu. Do you know he played in the 5th division here in Finland?
Serious.
That's how bad he got.
Hey, big up Freddie Adu, man. Big up Freddie. Like,
No, you can't pick him up, bro. That guy was
No. You don't, because you know what it is. Like, this was a guy, yeah, who was like the poster boy for like everything to do with wonder kid, young, good players, and then you just went from here to here. I think I see him doing a camp somewhere. I was like, damn, like you really did fall off. Like,
but at least with Neymar, he had the hype. But then when he went to Barcelona, he took it to another level.
He took it to another level, and I think, look, he's gonna go down as one of the best players of this generation, no matter what anybody says. I know everybody.
Okay, no. Okay, so talent-wise.
Again, see, look, and this is where the argument is going to start, because I still think he will go down as still both talent and just player-wise as one of the best players of this generation. When I say generation, by the way, I'm talking about really probably from, when did he join Barcelona? What year was that? 2000.
Was it 2013 or 2014? One of those 2 years.
2013, because I think
I think it was 2013 was his first year.
Yeah. If we're talking about, think about 10 years since then. So basically up until now, effectively. Let's just say from now until his thing, yeah, that's been about 10 years, if not a bit longer. I'm sorry, but you're talking about one of the most effective players. Even if you do forget his goals, because his record, I don't care what anyone says, his record stands up there with the best of them in terms of goals and assists that he's got for both Barcelona and PSG. But just the things that he was doing, like we remember his goal, obviously, that he scored for Barcelona against PSG to get them obviously through that game. We remember his goal against Villarreal where he flicked it up over the players, like chested it, flicked it up over the player's head, back of the net. He was then like, he's ever since he joined Barcelona, and even before then, he was the football version of LeBron James. He was literally the football version of that. In terms of, not in terms of what they achieved, in terms of entertainment. Everybody wants you on their team. Whichever team that you went to, I mean, he went to Barcelona and he won everything anyway. You know, he's part of one of the best teams that I think I've seen, you know, from a Barcelona team alongside Suarez and, you know, Lionel Messi, probably the best front three we're ever going to see, you know, in this lifetime so far anyway. And when I think of it, I just think to myself, what lets him down is that move to PSG. But if he had won or is to win a Champions League, I feel like that would start to erase a lot of the things that we've seen, because I feel like he'd be quite central to that anyway. But he hasn't done so. He's still relatively young. He's got time to kind of get himself.
I'm sorry. I just don't see him doing anything more in football.
No. I agree. I don't think
I really don't. I think he's, you know, with Brazilians, when it gets to past 30, the focus for football goes away. And I think we really see that with Neymar. And I can understand him wanting going to PSG, kind of just being the main guy at the team. But was it really the smartest choice to do it? Like, obviously the money is ridiculous and everything like it, but think about what you're leaving. You're leaving Barcelona, who was the best team, well, obviously the best team at the time. Obviously they're coming off the trouble in 2015. But you're playing with Messi, you're playing with Suarez. You could have just stayed and just kept building a legacy. And then when, you know, maybe Messi goes eventually, then you take over the reins for a couple of years, then you're guiding the next guy. Barcelona could have had that, but
he didn't want to. The thing is, it's like, I don't even get mad at it. Like, what you're saying, I 100% agree with. He could have just stayed. And really, how old is he? Like, he's like 30, 31?
Somebody said he's 33 already.
No way. Let me check.
I don't think he's 33. I don't think he's 30. Let me quickly check. He's 31. Okay, so he's born 92.
Okay, cool. So he's my age. So he's 31 years of age. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, when did Messi leave Barcelona? What year was that?
2021.
2021. So
summer.
All right, so only 2 years ago. So he would have been in his late 20s. Really and truly, if you look at, say, Lionel Messi's last 2 seasons at Barcelona, that's where I would have been looking at Neymar and being like, all right, now it's on you. Like, we know what Messi is. Messi still had a good last 2 seasons anyway at Barcelona. But if you had stayed there, those last 2 seasons, you could have literally basically overtaken Messi in that kind of time. So when Messi did leave to go to PSG in like a couple of years ago, then you're kind of going into that era now where that season that Lionel Messi's left Barcelona, you're winning the Ballon d'Or. I know it's a long way. I know you're probably sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, but that's when I would have been looking at you to kind of take over that mantle. And you still would have been considered like one of the best players. Like he just wanted to be number one. And I just felt,
of course,
he didn't understand, like, obviously, like I said, he was the LeBron. So you're coming through and everyone's touting you to be the number one. I'll be honest, there was more of a bigger fanfare for him than there was Lionel Messi. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Messi was inside Barcelona and inside Spain. But we're talking about globally, this guy was getting Nike deals. He was getting sponsorship deals even before.
But he's a bit more outgoing than Messi. Messi's very much a family guy. Exactly. I do my business. I do all the talking on the field. Neymar was a bit more outgoing. You saw him with the Red Bull doing the street football, COD, this, Twitch. He was doing all of that. My question to you is, though, G, he has never won a World Cup and he's never won a Copa America.
So that's
now,
I guess that
okay. 2014 World Cup, amazing, until the injury.
Yeah.
2018, it wasn't good. Last World Cup, obviously, he came off the injury. He got the goal against Croatia. And then I don't know what Brazil were doing to concede to Croatia. But I still in the belief he should have taken the first penalty. If you are the main guy for your team, just like Messi did in the World Cup final, you take the first penalty.
I had a lot of arguments about this during the World Cup.
And then, no, but also, like, how has he never won a Copa America? Just one, give me one. And the only time he didn't show up at the Copa America 2019, they won. So it's not looking good, his Seleção career. So when you're going to talk about the likes of Pele and R9, Rivaldo, Romario, and all these guys, I'm sorry, I can't put him there. Talent-wise, 100%. Look, talent-wise, he is an amazing player. Amazing. What he was doing at Santos was ridiculous. But I can't put him with the Brazilian greats until he does something for the Seleção. You got to give me one at least, Neymar. Now, look, he's 31. The World Cup is in 3 years' time. He's going to be 34. Is he going to be motivated?
He better do a Messi and get motivated. Do you know what I mean? He better get
You know
motivated.
what? He needs to look at Messi. But I just don't think he has the mentality like Messi. That's just my thinking.
I think he needs to. I think what I wish. Obviously, I'm being a little bit biased here, but I think he should have moved, to the Premier League maybe, because I think if he had gone to like, no, just like, not in terms of whether or not he could have stuck it out in the Premier League. Obviously, I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, his football is probably best suited to playing in Ligue 1 or La Liga or one of those kind of leagues. The only reason why I say the Premier League is if he's up for it, or if he was up for it, if he had come there and shown what he was really about in the Premier League and shown that, I really am the guy, then I think that, again, he would have taken his game to a whole new level kind of thing. Yeah. And also, I actually still think that, looking back on it, it's going to sound dumb. I actually still think he should have chosen Real Madrid over Barcelona, even though I'm a Barcelona fan. I think if he had gone to Real Madrid instead at that period of time when he did join thing. Obviously, they had Ronaldo anyway, so
yeah, he would have not gone there.
Yeah, but he would have. When did Ronaldo join?
Madrid, 2009.
2009, and he joined Barcelona 2012, 2013. To me, I reckon they could have still gone there, and they would have just moved Ronaldo inside. Like, I feel like if he had gone there, I feel like they just would have moved him as a striker. Benzema, like it just would have gone different for other players, i.e. Benzema, Higuain, and all these other kind of guys. But that wouldn't have been the focus. I think moving to a team like Barcelona, you've got Messi there, who is literally considered the number one. Ronaldo was always like seen as number two, but if he has a good season, he will be number one. I.e., that's where he would get his Ballon d'Ors and stuff like that. Messi was around the world seen as this is the greatest kind of player. You're coming into that and you think that you're going to be number one here, you got a better chance at Real Madrid. I'm being totally honest with you. And I think he could have done it, but it is what it is. It
is what it is. And look, Liga is a very physical league, and that's why Neymar suffered so many injuries. I agree as well. But I also think he has to take care of his body.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And this is a great point as well, Terry. Perez missing out on Neymar has made him go for most of the top Brazilian talent. Exactly. Rodrigo, Vini Jr., and now Endrick. You see what he's doing now. They didn't get Vitor Roque, but they got Endrick.
Is anybody getting Estadio from Palmeiras? Is anyone getting it? I know PSG had an offer turned down. It was like 30 million.
Not too sure. I haven't heard any rumors about him moving yet. Obviously, Vitor Roque got confirmed today, so for the next decade, we're going to get Endrick versus Vitor Roque in El Clasico, which is going to be very exciting.
There always has to be a Brazilian. Like, there has to be like a Brazil battle along. I like it.
Always has to be. All right, so G is just missing a goal, center mid, a cam, right back, and then goalkeeper. So okay, cool. I'm going to take my midfielder, and then alongside Dunga, I'm going to go with Gilberto Silva.
Cool. Yeah, I had a feeling you'd go then.
Yeah, I really rated this player, man. I think he doesn't get talked a lot about when it comes to that Arsenal team, you know?
Nope.
Because everybody talks about Henry, Pires, but like nobody mentions a lot Gilberto Silva, and he was a part of the 2002 World Cup team, so I think he's quality player. So yeah, Gilberto Silva is my pick alongside Dunga. I'm telling those guys, you defend and you give the ball to the forwards and let them do the magic. That's my tactics here.
Listen, you got very, very attacking forward line. I mean, you got Ronaldinho and Ronaldo. So, straight off the rip, you've got two of the best players that I've ever seen anyway, with Kaka, behind. Very attacking, very attacking. If you can, if I get past that, it might be spooky, but we'd have to wait and see. We'd have to wait.
Am I back?
Oh yeah, you're back. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was thinking why he's just kind of smiling.
There we go. Now I'm back. All right. What is it? Ninth pick. G. Ninth pick.
I'm gonna go with attacking midfielder Rivaldo. Have to go with Rivaldo.
Wow, Rivaldo.
I'm gonna go with Rivaldo. Okay. It was between him and Neymar to play in that attacking midfield position, but I'm gonna go with Rivaldo. It was a position that he played quite well, to be fair. I don't even know what to really even say. I'm left-footed. He was my favorite left-footed player when I was growing up. It was him and like Mark Overmars. I used to really like both of them. Like they were really, really
so
good
neither
players.
of us picked Zico.
Zico was my other choice. He was my other choice, but
damn,
I had to. That's why I said I had to choose who was going to go in that position, and I just couldn't have a team without Neymar. But I had to pick, and I think it's got to be Rivaldo. This is a guy who they say, again, this is just word around the grapevine, he's probably scored the best hat trick in all of history when he scored against Valencia. The hat trick against Valencia in La Liga. That hat trick was absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. Forget how long it took to score the hat trick. I know Sadio Mane scored quicker hat tricks and Robbie Fowler and all these. This hat trick, it was just ridiculously stupid. Long range goals, he's got them. Free kicks, he's got them. Crosses, he's got them. Dribbling, he's got that technique, he's got that passing. Like this guy was just, and he's the only guy I know in all of football who has looked old from the first day I saw him, but hasn't aged a day. Like he just looks old
the hairline
from the first day I saw him. Yes, bro, the hairline, because of his eyes, like his eyes look kind of sunken in. Like I remember playing, I used to play Pez and crucial hat trick. I told you. I remember I used to play Pez, and on Pez they used to have it like his eyes were like tiny, small, and I used to think this guy looks like he's 40, but I promise you, even when he got older and he was playing for Olympiacos, he was still doing up madness. Like top player, and he's one of my favorite players of all time, man. So
Rivaldo was ridiculous too, man. Absolutely filth at Barcelona. Filthy.
But Zico was an honorable mention.
Zico was an honorable mention. Oh man, I can't believe he didn't get picked. But I mean, that just shows you how talented the cam sort of position is for Brazil. Yeah. Well, for me at left back, Roberto Carlos. I mean, did he score the greatest free kick goal ever?
Yeah, I would say so. When the ball was not a fake ball, yeah, of course.
Bro, I don't even know how you're able to do that. I generally don't know how you're able to do that. You kind of need those balls where there's like a string attached to it, and it just kind of goes back and forth with you. That's how you do it. But okay, maybe it wasn't the greatest defensively, but for his height, because I think he was 5'6", for what he was able to do on the ball, I mean, unbelievable, absolutely ridiculous on the ball. Technique, crossing was pinpoint accurate every single time. Look, Roberto Carlos is one of my favorite fullbacks of all time, but he could have done a little bit better. I feel like maybe just a little bit better, but I still think he's a little bit better. Maybe just defensively, I was a bit underwhelmed, and you could say the same thing about Marcelo as well and Dani Alves. Like these guys were not the top tier defenders, but just going forward, what they offered on the ball was just brought fear to any winger or any right back or any right-sided midfielder. They feared Roberto Carlos because the guy could shoot from anywhere and he was pinpoint accurate. So yeah, Roberto Carlos is in my team. Wait, guys, you guys are saying that Arda Güler is joining Real Madrid. Is this confirmed? Oh my god!
Oh shit! Is it?
Oh my god! If that is true.
A little quick look at it.
Oh, I forgot about that goal from the corner as well, Oh, my God.
Oh, shit, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. You're there's so many things about Roberto Carlos that you just listen, man.
But apparently, Mr. Arda Güler is a Real Madrid player. Is this true, guys? Let me check. This could be something.
I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, so
Oh, okay. This
has decided to join Real Madrid in the summer, rejecting Barcelona in the process, according to reports in Turkey. Interesting,
yeah.
interesting, interesting. Okay. Oh, Fab just tweeted about it.
Oh, Fab just okay.
Yeah, Rivaldo has always
That's
looked
not,
ancient. That is true, Adash. That
yeah,
is
I
very
told you,
true.
bro. He ages like fine wine, bro. Like honestly, I promise you.
Juha, tämä mies myös. Mä mietin sen tämän pelaajan. Sorry, I'm speaking Finnish because he's a Finnish guy. Nilton Santos as well. I was thinking
He
about
was
him
the
too.
other left back I was thinking about,
Yeah.
depending on who you chose. Yeah.
I had him, Roberto Carlos, and Marcelo written down, but I went with Roberto Carlos because, to me, I just think he's a sick left back.
Yeah, no, he is. He is. Like, there's not really much more to actually
Because
say.
at
Okay,
right
yeah,
back,
Fabrizio has this.
we didn't go for. Oh, actually, you might go for him, so I won't say anything. Actually, I'll wait on that. I'll wait on that. So, 10th pick, G.
Allison.
He's going with Alisson.
Gonna go with
Alisson, huh?
He was always going to be my pick, to be honest. Anyway, if not him, then it was the guy training him. Yeah, it was
Honestly,
gonna be one of the two.
okay, people might say, okay, you're just Liverpool fans. In all honesty, Alisson is absolutely sick goalkeeper.
No. He's no. Listen, Alisson's one of the best keepers, if not the best keeper right now. But if you look at Alisson's career, let's just say even just since joining Liverpool, where he's taken his own game up a notch, he's one of the best keepers out there. And if you think about all the other Brazil keepers, they've only got Edison. Outside of that, they ain't got no one else. So let's then take it back even further, to the keepers that they have had, Julio Cesar, Dida, like these guys, they're not as good as Alisson. No way. No way.
Chat,
Jose.
let us know who's better, Alisson or Dida. Just let us one-worded answer.
Yeah.
To me, I'm taking Alisson all day. I really think
100%.
I think people kind of see, oh, maybe he makes that one crucial mistake in a game this season or in the past season. They're all, he's not that guy. I think people need to watch Liverpool every week. The amount of times he has saved Liverpool. I always say, under the Klopp era, Alisson has been our most important signing. Everybody can talk about Salah, Van Dijk, Fabinho. To me, it is all about Alisson because this guy, 101, doesn't get beat a lot. Does not get beat a lot. Alisson is a fantastic goalkeeper. What's his best attribute to you? Because it's not on the ball, obviously, but what's his best attribute?
This is one-on-ones. I think he is so elite at that. Like, that's what I think he's elite at. One-on-ones. Players I feel like they even get scared. Because there's times when I'm looking at, like, he goes one-on-one with someone, I'm like, yeah, this should be a goal. Like, there can't be any way that he saves this. Like, how are you saving it? And then he saves it. And I'm just like, okay, he does it once, but we're talking about a guy does it game after game after game after game after game. This isn't just a fluke anymore. Now I'm like, okay, he really is good. And he's decent. He's like, not the best keeper with his feet, I'll admit that. But if let's just actually strip it back to what being a goalkeeper is. He's got all those attributes. He's got the long passing. He can get the ball up the field if he needs to, and he's quite accurate with his passing as well. He can play that ball into midfield if you need him to do that. I'm good with Alisson, man.
Yeah, I think Alisson is a great choice. There's not a lot of great goalkeepers from Brazil.
No. It was just the two that we picked.
Actually, which country has produced the best goalkeepers? Germany? I think it's Germany, actually. Oliver Kahn, Manuel Neuer, Jens Lehmann.
Who've Spain had? Casillas.
To be honest,
okay.
I don't really rate Casillas that highly, if I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Don't you?
Not a lot. Okay, yes, that 2010 World Cup final performance was amazing, but too many times I've seen him make a mistake, bro. Too many times.
No, I feel you. I feel like maybe I'm just going because of his longevity. I feel like maybe because he was so young when he broke into the team. I feel like he was better when he was younger than as he got older. Like, I feel like when he was younger, coming into that Real Madrid team, I thought like, yo, this keeper is sick. And then as he got older, it just became like, yeah, he started making quite a lot more mistakes and stuff. Okay, yeah, I'll go with Germany. I can't think of anyone.
Yeah, I think
Italy
it is
always had Buffon, so it's quite difficult to shed anyone else.
All right, so you got right back, left. I got center back from my last center back position. Luis Pereira.
Right back.
I got the first pick. Luis Pereira. I'll just quickly say Luis Pereira. I think he played in the 70s for Brazil. And he played for Atletico Madrid, Palmeiras, and these sort of clubs. And I read a little bit that he kind of was the first sort of modern center back to play for Brazil. And to me, I really don't. I look at the other center backs. They're okay, but I think a lot of people, when reading about Luis Pereira, they say he's highly regarded. So I said, all right, let's go with him. Because obviously I didn't watch him because he was obviously in the 70s. If I was born in the 60s and 50s, guys, I would have a lot more wrinkles and I would probably be bald because I'm going to be bald at one stage in my life. But I'm going to go with Luis Pereira as my other center back next to Lucio.
If you were born in like the 50s and 60s, you would have gone with hardly any of these new age players. To be honest, I reckon you would have gone.
Nah,
with
you got to respect some of these ballers. I think you got to.
No. You'd respect them, but then it's like, remember, because we didn't see the older generation. Like
True.
Some people would say the 1982 or 84 World Cup, the Socrates, the Zicos, the Falcao.
82.
People tell me
Yeah.
that was like the best, one of the best teams that Brazil ever had. Of course, I never saw them, so I can't really judge it and say, oh yeah, they were. I can only really judge on what people have said. I've seen 2002 World Cup of Brazil, and I'm like, well, I thought that was a sick team, that they had. So yeah, it's one of those catch-22s.
And right back for you.
It's gonna be Cafu. It has to be Cafu, man. What more can we say, man? Before there was a Dani Alves, it was Cafu. When we started seeing, right backs bombing up and down, the pitch. I think he played for Roma. Sure, he won the Serie A title with Roma. To my knowledge, yes, I'm sure he won the Serie A with Roma back then. AC Milan, part of one of the best teams, ever, in history of time. Fantastic player, man. There isn't really much more I can even say on this guy. He's so elite, And even nowadays, we compare, a lot of players, to a Cafu, to a Dani Alves and stuff like that. Those two are the two right backs that I think the next generation from Trent onwards, those are the two you have to compare them with, in my opinion, anyway.
Agreed. All right, people. It's time for your now involvement in the chat. Remember to hit the like button if you haven't done so already.
Guys, don't do me wrong, man.
Be fair, people. Be fair, because otherwise G's going to cry again. And then when I ask him to do another draft, he's going to just bail on me, not answer my messages. All right, so here's the first team. It is my team. So I got Taffarel in goal. Dani Alves, Luis Pereira, Lucio, Roberto Carlos, Gilberto Silva, Dunga, Kaká, Ronaldinho, Romario, and R9. So that's my team. Now let's get up G's team. So you guys let us know which team wins. Team A or Team B? I'm Team A and G is Team B. And there's G's team. Alisson, Cafu, Aldar, Thiago Silva, Marcelo, Falcao, Socrates, Rivaldo, Garrincha, Pele, and Neymar.
You know what? I actually think there's two really good teams. Like the last one we did, I in my mind I was like, nah, his team is way better. But I actually think these are two really good teams. Like in both areas, like I think we're quite solid in all areas of the pitch. Like if I'm being totally honest with you.
G, so far it is a landslide.
Is it a landslide already? What is it? I can't see. I can't see the...
Okay, that's good. Don't worry. We'll give it when we get to about 15 votes, people. So vote right now if you haven't done so already. The poll is up. Which team wins? Is it Team A, which is my team, or is it Team B, which was G's team? Because right now, I don't think we even need to get to 15 votes. It is an absolute landslide.
You just want to talk about the bias. See, look, I'm even seeing comments like there was a Brazilian Falcao. What can I do? What can I do? Big up yourself, by the way.
Guys, remember to vote,
guys. Make sure. Yeah, sorry.
Remember to vote, people. Remember to vote. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, guys, please, man. Like, I love these drafts, man. Like, regardless who wins, loses, whatever. I love these kind of things. To go back in time, talking about some of these players, even players that, I might not have ever even heard of, if I'm being totally honest with you, and doing the research on some of these guys. Like, it's fun, man. So, Michael's giving you guys this content. Please, you can at least smash that like button, please.
I think I'm just going to end the poll here. It's 100% for you, G.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
I thought with the way you were talking, I thought, bro, like these guys are just being
Yeah,
clown. Like,
let me just end the poll, man. I just got absolutely swept
okay, guys,
like I'm Doc Rivers in a game 7. Holy shit.
guys, listen. As I said, man, Michael's bringing you guys this content today. There was no biasness, clearly, because we got the victory here. But I'm quite surprised, to be honest with you. I honestly, in my mind, I thought people were gonna side more with you. You got Ronaldinho, you got Romario, right? Yeah, you got Romario, you got the R9, you got Kaká, you got Daniel Alves, you got Lucio. Well, I'm surprised. I'm very, very surprised.
This is
Big
how
up,
I
guys,
feel.
though.
This is how I feel right now, G.
Con el brazo. Vean la reacción del técnico.
I love you guys, man. I love you guys. I love you guys. It's 1-1 now, by the way, guys. It's 1-1. It's 1-1.
It's good to end it here, people. I feel defeated. This is an embarrassment.
It's okay, Mike. Like I said, it's 1-1. We're equal now. We're equal. When you get back from holiday, we have to do one more to just kind of settle it. We have to do one more to settle it.
Ay caramba, man. Do I even need to post it on social media, G? I think
No. Because when I was losing, you posted on every single social media there was. So I'll go back into the thing and I will post it my damn self if I have to. So
All right.
make sure.
All right, people. That was a good stream, everybody. Another good stream. Big up to everybody who has tuned in. We had about good numbers here today. We had about 40 likes. Good to see. Remember to hit this like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Post it twice. Yeah, Sebastian, you can post it twice if you want. I'm posting it once and then deleting
Sebastian,
it after 10
3
minutes.
times would be nice.
I'm deleting it after 10 minutes anyways. It's going to be up there for 10 minutes and it's gone.
Listen, Michael left it up on his vote for 4 days. I was like, what? Try
to keep it there for at least a week. But this time, I don't think so. This time around. But everybody, we're probably going to do another draft. It won't probably not be next week because I will be leaving. So it'll probably be when I come back from holidays. But probably do a lot of content with G coming up next season. Not just, because we're both Liverpool fans. But G's telling me that he's going to be watching a lot of European football. So we're going to put it to the test. So I'll get him on to talk about some European football because there are some gems out there that we need to watch, especially because one player we both talked about, Verbruggen, is now a Brighton goalkeeper.
Oh, they've signed him permanently. They've signed him now, yeah.
Yep. They did a Simpsons sort of announcement video, which was really cool. So I gotta shout out Brighton for that, man.
They're clever because I would have done the same thing because of Bart. Yeah, I would have done it.
Yep. They're smart, man. Oh, God damn, they signed a quality goalkeeper. But if you haven't done so already, people, go subscribe to G's channel. Now he's doing live streams. I did not know this. You were doing most of your videos through the phone, which is crazy to me.
I was doing all my every live stream up until yesterday was all done on my phone. I haven't done one single.
Man.
Bro, it's just because I just wanted to do the live stream, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let not being able to do it on the laptop. I didn't have a laptop at the time because it literally broke the first day that I made my channel, and I was like, are you absolutely killing me? And then workplace that I'm working for now then gave me a laptop, but then it wouldn't allow me to actually go on to stream it. Like, they blocked all of the sites and stuff like that. It's only now everything has been opened up, so that's why I said, all right, cool.
Is this the next draft, G?
Put it to a vote. I'm down for it, but put it to a vote.
I'll put it to a vote in the community post because that might be a good idea. I'm gonna write that down to remind myself.
Let me know the options, and then I'll put that same post on Twitter, and then we'll see if we both get the same kind of reaction. And then if we get 2 different ones, we can then put up those 2 together.
Because we can either do an all Africa 11, which would actually be pretty cool, or an all European one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep, so it could be either one of those 2, but I think Africa would be better because it's a bit more difficult, and I think it's a race to have the best striker.
Yeah.
And the best African player of all time. One guy from Cameroon. That's all I'm going to say, people. That's all I'm going to say for the best 11 from Africa. But, G, where can all the people find you? Thank you, as always, for coming on. And, guys, remember to go subscribe to his channel.
Bless, man. Thank you for having me on. Michael said it there before. When he gets back from having his fun, which he deserves as well, needs some time off. He deserves that. I think, yeah, like, when he gets back, we're just going to be doing some more content. He said it already. I want to start watching a lot more of this, of European football, South American football. I think I want to delve probably more into South American, if I'm being honest, because Michael has found so many players and told me about so many players that you guys have only now starting to see, the Victor Roques and people like that. These guys, Michael's telling me about these guys from before. So, yeah, man, big up Mike. Catch me on GTV. And, yeah, I'll be back here whenever Mike gets back, man.
Gee, are you going to come on during the AFCON next year?
100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm here. You just let me know, and I'm here.
All right, cool. Because I just want to hear your rant when Ghana go out again.
Listen, all I'm saying is Ghana are absolute twats of a species. The reality is, look, I have to go on this little rant because you were just idiots like during the World Cup. Like I just didn't understand what you were doing. Like you're playing Inaki Williams, who is crap. You know what? We'll get into it next week. Yeah.
Big up Mtor Mizzy. I feel you can draft out 11 Brazil underperformers as well. 100%. 100%.
David Luiz captain.
Is it David Luiz captain? Is he the biggest underperformer? Did he really underperform that bit badly?
No, for Brazil. I mean, for Brazil.
For Brazil?
If he's just talking for Brazil, he's talking about like.
I think he's talking about players.
Oh, okay, cool. If it's just players, then he wouldn't have, because he didn't. I couldn't say he underperformed. I thought he meant like for Brazil. Then yeah, I would have said yeah. He's definitely
okay. Before we head out, last 2 minutes. Who's the biggest Brazilian flop? Okay, I'll give you my name. Alexander Pato.
Anderson.
The midfielder from Manchester United.
Yeah, he was a flop. He was 100% a flop. He came here. I thought this guy was going to be the best thing since. I don't even know. The compilations I saw were just so sick. I was like, oh my. He was a flop. 100% a flop. If it's not him, then Kleberson. I didn't rate him either.
Terry, you're gonna get blocked if you say that again, bro. Anderson more Premier League titles than Slippy G. Oh Jesus Christ!
Listen, it was a nice stream, guys. It was a nice stream.
Nah, Terry is choosing violence right now, and that violence shall not be. Fuck! I can't even come back at it. It's
that's what I'm saying. Like, just get out of here, Ty, man. I don't want to see it.
Oh man, yeah, but yeah, I would say those two guys are big flops. All right, everybody. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Big up to G. If you guys haven't checked out the shorts, remember to do that. Remember to follow me on the socials because you can see where I am in the world on my holidays. I won't give it away, but let's just say I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have a very, very good time. I'm going to get far away from people, get far away from my telephone, so then you can just see the photos and maybe some shorts at the country I'm at. Because I'm trying to go to a football game to the country I'm going. So I'll give that as a hint as well. But everybody, have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. And from me and G, adios, adios.